Internet. This is my very first WordPress tutorial. Um, if you've never developed a WordPress plugin, this is a fantastic place to start because I'm going to be going through that right now. Here's the end product of my tutorial. Um, it's a one-liner. Kind of replaces the old Hello Dolly thing. I asked God for a bike, but I know God doesn't work that way, so I stole a bike and asked for forgiveness. Love it. I could, this makes it so much better than looking at Hello Dolly lyrics. All right. So what we're going to do is we're going to activate Hello Dolly then, just to see what that looks like. And there it is. It's so nice to have you back where you belong. F5 to refresh. Dolly, you'll never go away. While the band's playing, you're looking swell, Dolly. Um, Full disclosure, and as you might be able to tell, I don't like Hello Dolly. I have to uninstall it every time I install WordPress because it ships directly with WordPress each and every single time. And it's just a colossal waste of time if you add up, all the time that people have to click this stupid button and figure out, hey, what the hell is this thing, and is it really any use? Um, it is useful to some extent. It's a useful learning tool, is what it is. It's not really good at being cute or coy or lifting your mood up or anything like that. But what it does well is it gives you a nice simple plugin from which to get a handle on what's required for plugin development. So we're just gonna go and look at that, take it apart, and then we're just going to change it. And because we don't like Hello Dolly, or at least I don't like Hello Dolly, I'm certainly going to make my own version of it, and that's the goal of this video. All right, so let's move forward. So first we're going to deactivate this, get it out of the way. By the way, if you haven't seen this before, this is the WordPress dashboard. You've likely spent some time here if you're looking at this video. I'm just going to make the assumption that you can get here. You have WordPress installed locally, or at least on a remote server or something where you can access it and look at this interface. If that's the case, great. If not, maybe stop this video and go and look for one of very many tutorials or videos showing you how to get here. I'm not going to make that tutorial or video. Alright, let's go. So we've deactivated Hello Dolly, and now we want to go into our folder structure. I'm using Dolphin. Dolphin's a part of Linux. It's just an operating system like Windows or Mac OS X or whatever. And this is just the way I get to my files. You'll have a different location, different structure for your files, but once you get to the WordPress folder, it'll all be the same. Okay, so to get to my WordPress install, I go to root var www and then d with wp. This is my sandbox, and then from here we go into something called wp content and then plugins. So by the way, let's go up. This D with WP, this is where my WordPress installation is located. All right, and so if we go in there, all this stuff, this is what comes with WordPress, all these different files and folders. And so if we go into WP content and plugins, this is where, you guessed it, the plugins are. And Hello Dolly, well, that must be the Hello Dolly plugin. And if we open the hello.php file, we're just going to launch into NetBeans here, which is an IDE, which is free, by the way. If you want to use it, it's great. It's good for PHP development. And here is our plugin. This is the guts of it right here. And the nice thing is about this plugin, it's only about 80 lines. Look at that. So let's go through it, and then let's change it. Okay. Packages, Hello Dolly, the version, blah blah blah. I mean, this, all that's really required here, bare bones, is the plugin name. You could put this other stuff in. It's good practice to put the URI in the description and so on and so forth in. This thing right here is referred to as the plugin header, and it's an essential part of building a plugin. Then we have our function. A function here, hello Dolly get lyrics. Basically what it does is it has a giant string called lyrics. Blah blah blah. These are the lyrics to the song. And then inside that same function, we split the lyric into lines. So we take the string lyrics, we delimit it by the new line character. We explode it into an array called lyrics. And then we basically randomly choose a line. We return a random number from 0 to the count of lyrics, which will be the number of lines, minus 1. Because it's an array, it starts at 0. We have to account for that. Then we have another function that basically just echoes out the random line that was chosen. And then we have an add action. Add action is a special kind of WordPress construct. It's a function. Basically, what it does is it uses a hook, and yeah, and that's a really important part of WordPress is hooks. Because there are two types. There's an action hook, which is what this is, and then there's a filter hook, which is something else, which we'll see later. But the add action hook, uh, the add action function takes a hook. In this case, admin notices, which is basically like a hook that says put your admin notices here, and then we're going to say in that place where it says admin notices, we want to run the hello Dolly function. And we know what the hello Dolly function does. It calls the hello Dolly get lyric function, and then it spits out the chosen lyric. All right, we have another function here, Dolly CSS. What it does is it styles the text for us, which if you saw that, didn't look like there was a whole lot of style there, but it does, float it one way, and here, add some padding and some margins, and it's all CSS stuff. I mean, you can go on W3 or some other place and figure all this stuff out. It's not that hard. But then something cool here is this $x ternary operator. So, well, this is just a variable, but is RTL question mark. That means is this right to left? So is it a right to left language? Question mark. If so, we want $x to be left. If not, we want $x to be right. And this allows us to dynamically assign a float value, right? So do we want float or left or right? Well, we don't know. That depends on whether this is RTL. Is it right to left? Yes, then we want to float it left. Is it right to left? No, then we want to float it right. Kind of cool, right? I think so. Okay, and so that's the function. Next, same pattern. We have to tell WordPress what to do with it. Otherwise, WordPress just says, okay, that's a function, great. I don't know what to do with it. Thanks for coming out. So we got to tell WordPress, hey, we want to add action, and in admin head, which is a hook for a particular area on the screen, we want to use Dolly CSS to format that. Pretty straightforward. Okay. All right. So let's change it up. Let's get rid of Hello Dolly. We want to call it Zinger. Hello Zinger. We don't need a plugin URI. No ma'am. Description. This is not just a blah 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 blah. No. Okay, we got a description. That's what we want. Matt is not the author. Author is Laurent. we're just gonna take these lyrics out. And I already did this before, so I'm just gonna copy my jokes over. I was just gonna basically just changing the string here to my one-liners. In France, they just call them fries. Yes, and it goes on like this. And so now we want to get rid of the trace of Dolly. So we want to change Dolly with Zinger. This is just a find replace, really helpful. If you're doing this kind of stuff. All right, all done. And now we don't want to use the word lyrics. Instead, we want to use the word jokes for our variable, for our string variable. Replace, 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 all replaced. Good. Okay, so I think that's it. So this is going to do the same thing Hello Dolly did, but it's going to give us a one-liner on the screen. Let's do a save as, and let's call it in our plugins folder. Let's call it Hello Zinger. There we go. And let's go back to our web page, and let's refresh it. And there it is, Hello Zinger. Let's activate it. There it is. A recent studies found that women who carry a little extra weight live longer than men who mention it. Ha ha ha. Very funny. All right. Now, I think the font could be a little bit bigger. It could we can style it a little more. Let's do that. Let's go find ourselves a font. We're going to go to Google Fonts. Google has a really nice set of fonts that you can use. They're all sitting on the Google web server, so that you could basically integrate them to any of your projects. They're free to use. They're wonderful. Here, look at this. No, that's a little too much. Too much. Here, this one's kind of nice. Yanon, whatever that says. I like it. Do a little quick use. From here, we want to import. Gives us an import statement that we can paste directly into a CSS file. But in our case, it's just going to be a style inside our style tag. There's our import. We go back, and we can also fetch the integration text, the integration statement, whatever you want to call it. Stick it down there. Now it's going to display that font. We may also want to change the color. Well, let's just look at this right now. Right here, let's click F5 to refresh our screen. Okay. My wife thinks that cooking and fucking are cities in China. Ooh, that is racy. But it's also very small, so we need to bump it up a little. So font size, let's go to about a 15, see how that looks. Yes. Tell me again how I unloaded the dishwasher too loudly when you were watching golf. Detectives will want to know exactly how this went down. All right. Okay, so I think maybe go up a little bit even. Let's go to about a 17. That's better. Okay, so now let's give it a background color. is going to be maybe like this. I like this one. Let's do this. Background color is going to be that. And then if the background color is going to be this red, then we can just make the text color, which is just color, we can just make it white. Let's see how that looks. My talks, but all mine ever says is goodbye. I think we need a little padding on that side, so let's go do that. Padding, okay, padding top, that's going to be padding left. Padding left. Well, we'll just get rid of this X here because we don't need to pad it on both sides. And we'll just say 5 pixels. See how that looks. There we go. Dear Alcohol, we had a deal where you would make me funnier, smarter, and better dancer. I saw the video. We need to talk. This will make hanging out here all that much more enjoyable, I think. All right. Quick recap what we learned. We learned the essentials, the bare bone essentials of plugin development. You need your plugin name. Good practice to include a description. There's more information about this on the codex if you want to look it up. Certainly a good place to look for stuff. We learned how, you know, WordPress kind of handles stuff. You can write your own functions like you would normally in PHP, and basically you would just link them to WordPress. You would hook them into WordPress using WordPress's special hooks. To find these hooks, for example, like if you wanted to look up admin notices, you know, it's as easy as going admin notices, plugin API action reference. There you go. Here is the WordPress codex, and this will tell you everything about the action, the admin notices hook. And it'll say it's a string. It's these are the parameters. You got a string that's required. You got a message that's required. It's basically what we have, right? All right. What else? We also learned about Google codes. Learned about a quick way to get a fancy Google code or Google font rather into your web page. Paste that import statement right into your style sheet or your style tag, and then just call the font on the element that you so desire. Hope you had fun today. I sure did. Please subscribe.